Okay, here's a demo of 3i primarily, um, but I will also show 3p as well. So the simplest of the test utilities is the pellet main. So we'll run that one. And it just shows that you can draw 8 ellipses. Well, some number, it doesn't have to be 8, but it shouldn't be 1 or 2. Just shows that you can generate instances of your pellet class at different positions on the screen. Then the air gun is a little more complicated because the angle of the gun. Now I've generated this one with angles that are greater than the 45 that the game allows, but it just shows that the utility, that the air gun class can handle the angle specification for it's certainly within its range range of excuse me. Um, a third, both of those were the main methods of the class involved, and they're primarily just demonstrating the visual representation of that object. Yeah, the third one of those is target stream. And in this case, it just shows the initial position of a series of targets on the right-hand side of the screen. They don't move. They're just there. It just shows you can display your target. So those three main methods of the classes are unit tests for the display, basically. Now that we have two independent test drivers, test pellet is demonstrating that your pellets can actually move. And so the idea is to start all of a bunch of pellets in the same location, but with different directions, and have your timer event handler move them along for a fixed number of steps. At the end of that steps, you're supposed to call a method of the reporter class, which pops up a window that just says you're done. A slightly more complicated unit test, but this is actually testing both the gun and the pellets together. This is test gun pellets, and here a gun shoots a pellet, and then after a certain number of steps, it changes the angle and shoots another pellet by not removing the earlier ones. You can just leave these showing. It's kind of cool. Once again, at the end of that, called the reporter test done method. So they're getting increasingly more complex, and then I'll show you the final program. Just so you have I showed a class, but it's nice to have it online. So here's the layout with an angle slider over here, pellet speed sliders, and target speed sliders as we raise the speed. It's not a wide range there, but stopping is very handy. It's very handy to have it stop. And so when you either press the fire button or you press the mouse in the panel, the gun shoots a pellet, and the idea is to win the game, which is to get rid of all of the targets before you lose all of your and you start with twice as many pellets as you have targets. Well, that was the actual. I realize now that when the very last step after the pellet has when the pellet has hit the when the pellet has hit the target, it doesn't display that step. So sometimes it appears as if the pellet really missed it and it goes away. So it probably should record the fact that it hit, but then I'll one more time before we move things. I didn't do that. Oh, I didn't show the speed change. You should be able to restart and shoot your pellets faster. Now that's about it.